Oklahoma just passed an unconstitutional abortion ban, and this one is set to take effect immediately when Governor Stitt signs. Planned Parenthood, ACLU, many others are fighting back. And yeah, I mean, there was also, again, a mention from Tamaya about ours passed the bathroom bill in retaliation to the Dems walking out yesterday, who were walking out because the Republicans wouldn't allow questions and debate. And so that's like also part of the pattern is they don't actually want to discuss what they really believe or what the meat of the argument is. It's just, I don't know, scoring points. I don't even know. Because again, I think these like 6-week abortion bans too are probably not popular with the overall electorate. I mean, I know there's a significant percentage in Oklahoma who may support them, but they want exceptions in most cases. They also wouldn't want it so early that it didn't make any sense. There will be lawsuits. The fear, of course, is when it heads to the Supreme Court, what will happen there? Oh, here's a better thread with more of it. So it was Senate Bill 1503. So I assume Governor Stitt is waiting to schedule a big photo op signing ceremony that the media breathlessly covers. But anyway, I mean, I don't know what else to say about these. They're horrible. They're going to just force women to have to flee the state to get abortions. Because as far as the Supreme Court will likely go, I mean, they probably won't. I don't think they'll overturn it nationally. It'll probably end up just being a state-by-state thing. So, the worst case is that Oklahoma women will be forced to take onerous and egregious efforts to be able to make their health decisions about their body, like drive to New Mexico or Kansas. I don't know. Hot takes, additional takes.
That's what's like kind of comical about this, is that it's like, you think you're really just, people are just gonna not get abortions because you ban them? No, you fucking assholes. You're putting women and non-men, people who can reproduce, in all kinds of danger because, I mean, if people don't want to have a child or don't feel like they don't have the means to take care of a child, they're just going to find other ways out of it. Like, people are going to be doing all kind of crazy things to try to terminate pregnancies. People are going to die from trying to terminate pregnancies, and they can't do it in a safe, medically assisted fashion. Like, it doesn't make sense. And then those who do have the means are literally just going to travel state lines.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing you're doing is perpetuating harm and causing us to have to spend more money than we should have to get a medical procedures. Abortions are medical care. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. All you're doing is just perpetuating harm, and it's ridiculous.
Right. And like, I really wish, and like from a messaging standpoint, I mean, yes, the truth is the truth. Abortion is healthcare. Abortion is healthcare. Abortion is healthcare. So let's talk about this like it is a healthcare argument instead of having to debate whether or not this is a moral or religious argument. And like, I really think, especially for those of us who are on the left, this is where we lose a lot of the time, precisely because of the fact that, like, on the Republican side, their constant argument around abortion is always like, this violates, God's plan. This violates, like the will of whatever. And that, it's always framed in a religious context. So for me, and as somebody who is a deeply religious and spiritual person, I have a counterpoint to that argument. And on the left, like, it's going to take religious left people, it's going to take spiritual left people to also counter this argument as well. Do we not constantly say that, it is actually more dangerous for the life of a pregnant person if they don't have a late-term abortion? That's actually the truth of the matter is, like, as a pregnant person, as they get closer to like something like a delivery date, it's actually more important to reserve the life of the individual, precisely for the fact that, like, it's not one person at the cost of another, right? Like, and for those of y'all who do watch, like, and, I belong to like congregations or constituencies where, this is problematic. I mean, all I've got to really tell you is, that is internal first and foremost. And, for a country that says that they separate church and state, they don't. You know, we have to saddle up on our side of the aisle. Like, we really do, and we have to be ready to counter that argument. Otherwise, we're not going to win on that. And the other thing, and like I said, like, again, framing this in a healthcare angle, a bodily autonomy angle, is always the best way for us to get this across.
Yeah, and as is being pointed out on Facebook, the really sinister parts of these laws are the bounty hunter type provisions where you can rat on someone. Like, if somebody gives money to someone to go get an abortion, you can they can face criminal consequences. And so, and just like in, you know, people are starting to sue providers and healthcare institutions as a way to make money. I mean, it's just going to create just a really awful ecosystem around abortion access for no appreciable benefit. I mean, all you're doing is forcing people who either can't or don't want to have a child, and then you're offering them no support on the back end. I just can't imagine doing that to someone, to be like, no, you have to have that baby, but I'm gonna do nothing to. I mean, it's just such a gross.
With that point about the bounty hunter provisions, like, these are terrifying things. Like, there was literally a bill that I don't know if it died or what. If Tamaya's watching, she might be able to tell us. But the bill that was a pregnancy tracker, like a pregnancy database. Like, what the hell?
They've tried those several times, and they always have to scale them back because in a small town, it would be like you would immediately identify who it was, you know, like, because
it's like the fucking Salem witch trials. This is a witch. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Well, and this comment too, I mean, I kind of disagree with it. I mean, I get what you're saying, but this type of subject keeps people from becoming class conscious. I actually think it could have the opposite effect, because rich people are going to go get it. Like, if you can afford a plane ticket, you don't have to tell anyone what you're doing. You don't need to borrow money and risk being bounty hunted. I mean, if you're wealthy, shoot, you can go fly to California and get, have yourself a spa weekend and get yourself, taken care of. Like, but it's going to be low-income people, working-class people who, struggle to fill up a tank of gas, who are going to be forced to, like, deal with the consequences of the massive financial consequences of having a child, or coming up with the money to go and deal with this and potentially implicate or have. I mean, it very much will be a class thing. Like, it will. I mean, this one will come because it's a state by state and not a federal ban on abortions. Like, I think it could have the opposite effect of, poor women will know tons of people who were forced to have a baby, and rich women will know tons of people who hopped on a plane and went and got one,
But the ultimate goal is to, like, force a conversation on, like, overturning Roe v. Wade. Like, that's really what it is. Yeah. Like, that's the ultimate goal. And it's just like, whether or not they'll find it through making a majority of states making it illegal, or whether it's a judicial process, the ultimate goal is appeasing the base of people who don't understand.
Yeah, and in the debate, which I don't know if I pulled that tweet up, I mean, they just specifically made horrible comments about Black women.
I mean, we have people voting on these bills who have to ban abortion, who have taken their wives to go get abortions. Like, What the fuck? If that, like, it's such a double standard. And I know I've told this story on this stream before about the Black Babies Matter guy.
Yeah.
But, like, this is racist. Like, banning abortions is racist. Like, a lot of, like, trying to defund Planned Parenthood is racist, because that's oftentimes the only place that marginalized women and non-men can go to get reproductive health care. That's where I go for reproductive health care, right? Like, it's not just about abortions, and this is just racist. This is racist. Whenever you can go and meet a group of people who are anti-abortion advocates, right? and their protest chant is Black Babies Matter, Black Babies Matter. You can't tell me this shit ain't racist.
I mean, it's their talking point, though. They'll argue that, like, you know, Black women get more abortions per capita, and so therefore...
You know why?
Yeah,
if that is the case, do you know why?
Why is that? Why is that, Adriana? Tell us.
Inequality, are you kidding me? Defund your goddamn police departments, quit wasting our fucking money, and invest in equitable resources for our community. That way women and people who can produce children can actually afford these fucking children.
Yep.
Hey, bro, give me that male birth control. Like, the number one cause, give the number one cause of pregnancies is penises.
Men can make 365 plus babies in a year. Women can make one.
Yeah.
One. Why are vasectomies not covered by Sooner Care? Like, we want to have a real conversation. Let's have that fucking conversation. Y'all want to prevent abortions? Why don't we prevent unwanted pregnancies?
Yeah. I mean, that was still Connie Johnson's, like, one of her shining achievements was her challenging those abortion bills with like some of the targeting men instead. It was very, very well done.
Because
you want to come? You want to come and make abortion illegal? Well, you better not come nowhere besides inside a woman. And then the amendment to that should have been, if you don't take care of your child, you will be charged with child neglect. Like,
bro, ban ejaculations. Like, that's
Connie tried. She tried.
Can we get somebody to run this bill? Like, can we let's ban busting nuts. Like,
right.
Thanks for watching our video. Please give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more content. If you want to engage with us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.